The conflict in Myanmar is continuing to spread across the country. In recent days, 20 civilians were killed by junta forces in the country's northwest, and a further 30 were killed over Christmas, including 2 international aid workers in Karen State, close to the Thai border. Thousands of civilians have fled the fighting, rushing into neighbouring India and Thailand, living without access to food or shelter. Now, in an exclusive interview at an undisclosed location near the front line, a senior rebel commander is calling for international intervention to protect civilians. Henry Zwartz has this story.
A new year and a new tactic in Myanmar's bloody civil war. With no air power of their own, Myanmar's pro-democracy rebels are resorting to drones to target military convoys and installations. Laptop-sized machines dropping milk bottle-sized bombs, but they're no match for the ruling junta's combat helicopters and fighter jets.
They bomb the areas, they use jet fighters, and they're shooting at our soldiers, but they still cannot do many damage. But we started also waging guerrilla warfare in those areas.
Rebel Commander Major General Nerdar Bomir says footage of villages flattened by bombs shows the need for UN intervention.
It is necessary for UN to enforce certain regulations so that set up no-fly zone so that they won't attack the civilians.
Calls backed by Myanmar's government in exile.
Only concern and statement is not enough. The military every day committing crimes, terrorist act against the people. People are dying, and it's comprised of international crimes against humanity.
There's been no let-up in the fierce gun battles between ethnic armed groups and the military junta, as it fights multiple pro-democracy and ethnic armed forces right across the country. There are signs the junta's forces are struggling, rebels claiming to have captured the flashpoint town of Damoso in recent days.
Our soldiers are in a good shape, good morale, and we'll keep fighting and we'll keep pushing them until they collapse.
A former cruise ship worker, Sorway Namu, volunteered with the Karen fighters. He says he's proud to fight junta forces.
We protect the people as much as we can, and as much as we can support to them, to the person who are protecting the people. So I'm really proud of myself to work this kind of job right now.
The Karen fighters say more than 400 Myanmar soldiers have been killed since the start of the new year.
If we don't give up, we can never lose. Freedom and victory start from the heart. When you don't want to give up, you can never lose.
Both on the battlefront and on the streets, the calls for the restoration of democracy endure. Henry Zwartz, SBS World News.